Hello everyone, Prank Ranger here, and welcome back to the LEGO Prank Ranger Building YouTube channel. Now, the last time we were here, we built ourselves a fine ship known as the Snub Pirate Fighter. This time, however, we're going to be going a little bit back, and by a little bit, I mean during the days of the rebellion against the Galactic Empire. Yes, you hear it here, folks. We're going to be building ourselves Luke Skywalker's Xwing mech. And I do apologize for some of the damage. Amazon being Amazon, you know how it is. Anyways, before we start, Riley, would you like to give the people some details relating towards this mech and see if they would be willing to buy it later on in the future or not?
Level 10 12 acquired Luke Skywalker, now piloting mech, set number 75390. Lego Strong Full Gundam, I'm not mad. It's got 195 pieces, articulated limbs, oversized blasters, and a cockpit ship designed for all under $15. Comes with a solid Luke minifigure, classic pilot suit, sensitive, no helmet, no lightsaber, margin cut, probably, but instead all poses well and smacks of childhood joy, even if it's mere more than a mere toy and tactical verdict. Not essential for collectors, but perfect for kids and casuals, with still low cost. Maximum nostalgia, Halo, deployed to show or battlefield, both Skywalker Tech style. This mech is certified Rebel approved. Back to you, fine.
While I'm building this, I thought this might be a good time for me to give y'all a little bit of Star Wars lore relating towards Luke Skywalker and his X-Wing. Did you know that he is the first pilot of the Red 5? Luke flew in the legendary Red 5 X-Wing in The New Hope before that call sign was held by another famous Jedi, his father, Anakin Skywalker, during the Clone Wars. Not to mention the fact that he was a Death Star sharpshooter. Luke destroyed the first Death Star with one proton torpedo without using his targeting computer. He used the Force. Using the Force wasn't just advice from Ben Kenobi, it was a history in the making. And also, during his Jedi training, when he was piloting the X-Wing in Empire Strikes Back, Luke was still learning the ways of the Force, but his courage let him face Darth Vader solo on Cloud City. And during his time on Dagobah, Luke's X-Wing sank into the swamp of Dagobah, and Yoda used the Force to lift it up. One of the most iconic scenes in Star Wars history, and where the legendary quote was, "Judge me by my size, do you?" And basically showed Luke Skywalker up when he was basically bitching about saying that he can't lift up his X-Wing. Anyways, not to mention the color shift of the Easter egg. In Return of the Jedi, Luke's outfit shifted from black, symbolizing the struggle between light and dark, and you can sometimes spot this self-reflection in a certain LEGO minifigure and versions of Luke himself. And during the X-Wing's lifespan, Luke's original T-65 X-Wing lasted about 3 original trilogy films, and appeared again in The Mandalorian and Rise of Skywalker, proving how iconic and enduring his ship is. And behind the scenes facts, Mark Hamill did most of his cockpit acting in the X-Wing, even simulating G-forces by tightening his body for realism. A little bit know about LEGO fun fact, Luke Skywalker has 35 different minifigures since 1999, with variations including Farm Boy Luke, Luke Pilot, Jedi Luke, Hoth Gear, and more. And while we're on the subject, did you know that Luke Skywalker was originally going to be Luke's Star Killer in the early drafts of Star Wars? Well, it was going to happen until George Lucas changed his mind due to the fact that he thought the name Starkiller would be too dark. So, Luke Skywalker became the man he is. But the name Starkiller also had its own name coming up soon, playing towards one of Lucasfilm's games known as Star Wars Force Unleashed, where the main antagonist and protagonist, Starkiller, was groomed by Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker's father, so that way he could be able to kill other rebels and Jedi, and also get ready to pull a coup d'etat on Palpatine, aka the Emperor, aka Darth Sidious. But unfortunately that didn't go the way Vader wanted it, so he had to kill Starkiller, or wound him. But I digress, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here. But let's swing back to Hoth, shall we? During his time in Hoth, Luke Skywalker survived a Wampa attack and the freezing cold on Hoth, while his X-Wing, however, was grounded by the weather, forcing him to ride on a tauntaun, which basically is like a two-legged horse. But let's get back to it, shall we? Did you know that Luke started out with his father's lightsaber, which was the color blue, but built his own, a green one, before Return of the Jedi? It symbolized his independence and Jedi growth. But in reality, during the Tatooine skies during film, the ILM made it green for visibility. That became canon. And did you know that Luke was force sensitive at birth? Luke was born strong with the Force due to his father's lineage, but he didn't start his training until he was 19. Just like Alexander Hamilton when he was only 19, but became part of the Revolutionary War, and then later on became one of the founding fathers relaying towards the war, basically making the banks and also helping out everything he could, but with a giant hubris, and paid his price with his life. Anyways, while we're back on the subject, after defeating the Empire, Luke Skywalker tried to build a new Jedi Order, training students from Grogu, which that didn't work out well, to Ben Solo, Kylo Ren, which really didn't work that well in my opinion. And there are some of his iconic lines, like during Return of the Jedi, when Emperor Palpatine told Luke to kill his father, Darth Vader, aka Anakin Skywalker. He refused, and also said one of the most hardest lines you could think of. I am a Jedi, like my father before me. And it's still one of the most powerful Star Wars lines in all the cinematic Star Wars universe, spoken just before he refused to kill Vader, and became a Jedi without trials of the Council. Unlike traditional Jedi, Luke never had become a former master past Yoda. His path was forged through experience, not Jedi tradition. And Luke was the only major rebel leader to not be trained as a soldier. He started as a farmer and ended up saving the galaxy. And a little bit more facts about the X-Wings, specifically Luke's X-Wing. Luke's X-Wing model is a T-65B, known for being a well-balanced, fast, durable, and customizable. When the wings split into two, an X-Wing shape, those are S-foils. It's how the X-Wing gets its name and increases combat power. While his astromech, R2-D2, was the co-pilot. He helped navigate repair systems, even scream during the battle damages scenes. And his weapon loadout was 4 laser cannons and a proton torpedo, the latter being what destroyed the Death Star. And not to mention his hyperdrives. The X-Wing was one of the first fighters with a built-in hyperdrive, given the Rebel mobility and the Empire's TIE fighters didn't have. But behind the scenes, the LEGO was released over 10 unique X-Wing sets. Luke's version are usually among the top sellers, and became a fan favorite. Many LEGO X-Wings include stickers and prints replicating the damage from battle, including the star run damage. In the LEGO mech, however, it's not canon. But it is a cool mashup of mech culture and Star Wars design, mixing rebel spirits with Gundam vibes. And while during the show The Mandalorian, Luke appeared in the Mandalorian Season 2 finale, saving Grogu, aka Baby Yoda, it shows that the Jedi skills are still top tier even decades after. In The Last Jedi, Luke held sacred Jedi texts showing he still sought ancient knowledge even after the fall of the Jedi Order, which was caused by Ben, if you know you know. And also, Luke's final battle wasn't physical. He was projecting himself across the galaxy to stall Kylo Ren in The Last Jedi when the rebels on Crait were trying to escape, and the First Order was basically held off by Luke Skywalker as a bluff, showing a mastery and rare force powers. In universe and real life, Luke has inspired generations, from Rey to fans around the world who grew up believing in hope and courage. Luke has appeared in LEGO specials like Freemaker Adventure, LEGO Star Wars Terrifying Tales, and Summer Vacation. In many polls, Luke is voted the most iconic character in the franchise, representing courage, growth, and redemption. And last but certainly not least, Luke's journey from a farm boy to Jedi is based on Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, a blueprint of the modern storytelling. Now, I'm gonna let this bastard keep on dealing with the Legos. I do apologize for some of the mishap that he did, but I digress. Hope you'll enjoy, and then I'll meet you afterwards.
Alright, now that we have it fixed up, here's what it looks like. As you can see, he has the blaster on one side, and he has his lightsaber on the other. But now, it's time for the real meeting to test it out, to see if it works or not. So, here we go. Fire we get. Nice. It was able to hit the stormtrooper in the head. So, I also think that this would be a good thing to play with, and also for, to do videos with. But, for now, I believe I must call it a day. Till then, I'm Prank Ranger, and you have a good day, a good night, or fuck time it is when you're saying.